Jean-François Gravelet. Jean-François Gravelet. He was born in France in 1848. And at the tender young age of 5 years old, he went to acrobat school. And 6 months of school is all he needed before he became a phenomenon. And then he was known as the Boy Wonder. And he started performing acrobatics around the world. And he came to the United States in 1855. By this time, he's no longer known as the Boy Wonder. He's known as the Great Blondin. And so his dream was to perform on the Niagara Gorge, on a tightrope. And so he did this, and he became famous doing this. And it's a tightrope that was 1,100 feet long and 160 feet in the air above the water. And he became more famous by adding things to this whole vaudeville trick, I guess you could say it was, this whole trapeze or tightrope type activity. And the things that he added, you wouldn't even believe. And people came from around the world. They paid 25 cents to watch, 50 cents if they wanted a seat, okay, back in 1855. And so he would walk across the tightrope blindfolded. Another time, he would walk across the tightrope on his back. You saw the special on TV?
Yeah, it was scary.
And he would carry his manager, Harry Colcord, on his back. Another time, he went across the tightrope on stilts. Another time, he goes across the tightrope on a chair, balancing on one leg, right? Can you imagine? Another time, he goes across the tightrope with a little stove and some eggs, and he sits down in the middle of the tightrope, and he cooks himself an omelet. He eats it, and then he gets up and he takes his little stove and he goes across. But some of the most famous tricks that he did on this tightrope, he had a wheelbarrow that he was trundling across the tightrope, right? And then, if that wasn't scary enough, he took an anvil. Do you know what an anvil is?
Yeah.
It's a very heavy anvil, and he puts it in the wheelbarrow, and he is trundling that across the tightrope across the Niagara Gorge. And so this one particular time, he had a very special audience, and he had a very special guest in his audience. And that guest was the Duke of Edinburgh. And so he gets across the tightrope with the anvil in the wheelbarrow and turns to the audience and says, "Do you believe that I can carry a man in my wheelbarrow across the tightrope, across the Niagara Gorge?" And the crowd says, "Yes, we believe." And then he goes up to, bless you, he goes up to the Duke of Edinburgh and says, "Do you believe, sir, that I can carry a man in my wheelbarrow across the Niagara Falls Gorge? In my wheelbarrow?" And the Duke of Edinburgh says, "Yes, sir, I believe that you can." And he says, "Sir, get in." To which the Duke of Edinburgh promptly replies, "No, thank you." Unexpected ending, right? And it causes us to question, why do we have faith in someone that they can perform great works and we cannot, right? What is it about that story that kind of makes you feel a little sad? Does it make you feel a little sad that the Duke of Edinburgh didn't get in? Everybody believed that he could do it. He had done everything else.
But it's another variable.
It's another variable, true. But there's almost a chiropractic metaphor here, right? Because in your personal life, people see you as someone who clearly enjoys exercise. You enjoy yoga, right? You come and you get your spine adjusted on a regular basis. You're probably really careful about your nutrition. And the people in your world see you as, oh, that's okay for you, but it's not okay for me, right? That's, I think, the thing that touches our humanity. It's the thing that breaks our heart. And so what I'm inviting you to do tonight is to take those people in your world and invite them to get into the wheelbarrow with you and cross that great divide, that they can make it to the other side where we have greater health, and we have a greater quality of life, right? You can do that tonight. You have an EEF on your clipboard, and that is a way for you. You can invite us to, if you have a church that invites outside speakers, if you have a Rotary group that invites outside speakers, any kind of civic organization or some place that does a health fair where we can go out and do screening, we would be more than happy to show up and share the great news of how chiropractic keeps people healthy.